Please start now.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Good evening, travelers and those alike. Welcome to the Orion Effect right here on the R.I.F.T Nation Network. I am the quintessential hitman of the universe.
And I'm Rhonda Harris, his trusty counterpart.
Oh, my keeper, my handler, if you will. Thank you, everybody, for joining and being a part of this. Hello. Wow, we have a wonderful show. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. We're really excited about bringing our guest on in just a few minutes, Miss Melodie Brookman. But this is also a very another special night, Rhonda.
What is it?
So we do have a few announcements.
Nice.
Being the mothership of the RNN, we get to do that, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing we would like to say is be ready. Those of you, we're giving you a whole year in advance right now, a whole year. The R.I.F.T Nation will be doing its second annual R.I.F.T Nation New Year's Eve celebration right here at the cabin. That has been confirmed, so look for the event. The tickets will go on sale very soon. We are doing tickets here. They will be $15 a person, and the reason is to help coverage for the food and beverages. We know there's a good chance we may have a lot more people this year. We're excited about that. Hopefully, we'll have some more of the R.I.F.T Nation staff actually here. This is giving them plenty of time to get ready. So we're really excited to announce that we will be doing the R.I.F.T Nation New Year's celebration here at the cabin on 360 in historic Mechanicsville, Virginia. New Year's Eve. What?
Very cool.
Very nice. Now, let's talk serious, shall we?
Okay.
Um, I can't believe what I'm about to say. I really can't. And everybody's like, what? My baby's turning 21 years old tomorrow.
Oh my.
And this is what I want to say. And it's hello, Shayla. Hello. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Shayla.
Um, I wanted to say this and how proud I am of her. Uh, she was born with a shrinkage of the right hemisphere and um, semi palsy in her left leg and her left arm. She was put through the IEP program, and she has fought through so many adversities that right now I'm living. If there's somebody that I could look up to, it would be my daughter. She has done some amazing work and self growth, fighting through. And the only person in the state of Virginia documented of actually working themselves out of the IEP program uh, to the point where living a very prosperous life, yet it's been with ups and downs. But I want to take this time to wish Ariana Odell a most amazing happy birthday tomorrow. You deserve every one of those 21 years.
Yes,
And I
she
cannot
does.
wait to get drunk with you.
Oh Lordy.
So I wanted to make sure we put that out there. I want to
Happy,
make
happy
sure.
birthday, Ariana.
Yes, happy birthday, Ariana. Thank you. Renee, thank you so much. We appreciate you as always. And thank you, everyone who is tuning in, has or will tune in. Ooh, I have to say that. I'm fully aware that tonight is Royal Rumble Part 2. I also am aware that there's football going on. So if you're here hanging out with us, we appreciate you being here. We want to make sure you would know you are welcome and you are noticed. Hello to Christopher.
Hey,
Hello, and thank
Christopher.
you for being here. Um, I also want to say one more thing. All right, this is where I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and I put the guns in their holsters, but I still have something to say. When you come to this show, you're always will be welcome. You're always identified. We will always know you're here. We will let you know right here in chat. We will bring your comments up. We will ask your questions. We will answer if we can. If we can't, we'll find a way to do it. But there's so many podcasts out there right now that do not, unfortunately, identify their viewers. This is not one of those shows. Anything you ask, anything you say will be seen and will be shown, and we will speak your comments because this show is for you, by you, and the reason for it being here is because of you. So, yeah. I'm having a little bit of a signal. I can see there's a little bit of delay on my
Yeah, you're a
side.
little pixelated tonight.
I am a little pixelated. I was thinking about switching to the banner, but I was like, you know what? You got that. You got that right there. So I'm thinking, let's really be able to see me and not have all this. We've got problems, Houston, and let's go ahead and give a little pump to the location that we sponsor and promote right here, the Cabin on 360, one of the many sites that we are affiliated with and we try to help out. So we want to thank you to the curators here, Ryan and Dennis, for allowing us to go live here at the cabin. And all of you, Ghost of Staunton, just to name another, helping out there. Thank you, Keith, and welcome to the show. And thank you for being here. Keith was just on Wicked Women. Interesting show, I will say that. So I saw him. He's checking all the podcast out. And he's a cast member here, and we want to say welcome and thank you. So, wow, I don't think there's any more to say, is there?
I think the only thing I want to, we plugged the Cabin on 360. I want to say anyone who came out last night to the paranormal lockdown out at Belgrove Plantation out in King George, Virginia. We had a great night. That was a great group of people. We thank you so much for coming out for a January investigation on a pouring rain night. We had almost 30 people come out, and like a good number made it till 5 in the morning. So we really appreciate you coming out. It was a good time. Out of the 30, I would say less than 5 had ever investigated before. So it was a lot of fun, and we hope you come back.
Nice. A little paranormal cum trail.
Yeah.
Leaving the crumbs all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We had a little adventure here last night at the cabin ourselves. We had a little private into gathering of a few of us amazing souls. And yeah, we had a pretty good time too. Britt was here. Kristen was here, members of ASPS. We had members of CROP, Commonwealth Researchers of the Paranormal, Ryan and Crystal and Carol. We had our new member with us, Andrew. So it was a really nice small group of people, and we had a little something going on. Nothing big,
Just a little get together.
Yes, Christopher. Well, I'm going to let you ask that.
I wonder why all of a sudden all of the paranormal TV shows, online podcasts, etc. Well.
Can you finish that statement for us, Christopher?
Well, because that's what all the cool people are doing. I'm just kidding. No, but true. But I also think, TV is playing a lot into it. I think we've all heard the rumors. There's been some shakeups in the television networks that do the paranormal television shows. So
it's not just paranormal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're looking for other outlets like YouTube and Netflix and things like that. So I think now people are really scrambling to figure out what's next.
Alternative.
Yeah.
It's the alternative to TV.
Yeah.
Okay. We are giving you real time. You are speaking to us one-on-one. We are communicating to you. We are understanding. We are giving your questions and answers to the guest and allowing the guest to interact with you, which you're not going to find that a lot on TV. Now, unlike Roku, which who knows where we'll go, there are a lot of paranormal podcasts, vidcasts that are on Roku now. And that's the new, could this be the new direction of TV? Very well possible. Very well. I've been in, this network has been around for 7 years. Started as a standard podcast, listening to the radio. And we decided to change the format. Now, we lost 55,000 listeners at that point. Okay. Well, sometimes you just, to start over, you need to redevelop and recreate, which is what we did, which is why we're here now. Why is it actually coming out now all the time? I think today's society is more acceptable, and they want to know about the strange, the unusual, and the weird, the paranormal that's out there, especially like YouTube. I think I know what you're referring to now, Christopher. I think at the present time, we are seeing a flux in the time continuum. Yeah, we're going to go science a little bit here. Hold on, Melody, we're coming. He got me on a interesting subject, only dipping into the rabbit hole. There was a cut in the, well, not a cut, but there was a flux in the time continuum that happened here recently. We're seeing a lot more activity, both on the spiritual, supernatural, and the paranormal side of things. And people are racing to get there first. People want to grab it. We'll talk about it. We're not rushing to it. No. And you can hear it on like what's going down in other shows.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of people drop out of the paranormal now because like people are going to YouTube and Facebook and things, and the algorithms keep people from being seen, and it's too hard to make, it's not, they put a lot into making their content for a lot of, not much return. So it's like pumping, but at the same time, I'm seeing some really talented people fall off. So.
Okay, that's another good point. We'll make this real quick. We are seeing people that have been in the paranormal for a while falling off. We're also seeing new people coming. That cycle is here, and I think that can be good. I really think that could be good because that's giving a journey, new paths to new people. I want to say hello to Vicky. Thank you for joining us as
Hi,
supporter.
Vicky. Hi, Kim.
Yep, there you go. You beat me to it.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, absolutely. So, without further ado,
Melodie Brookman.
we have a very special guest. We'll bring her on now. Miss Melodie Brookman in the house.
Hi.
Hello,
Hey, how
hello.
are you?
Hello.
He's still smiling. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm still around.
We haven't scared you off yet. This is good.
No, you haven't scared me.
So for travelers and those like, grab your coffee, grab your tea, sit down, have a beverage on me. Let's sit down around the coffee table and let's talk to Melodie. Let's continue this conversation, shall we?
Yes.
Last Sunday, we discussed the beginnings of your situation, your case, your events.
Mhm.
We're going to shoot straight forward, bows and arrow firing away. We came to learn that your instances started happening when you were at a job place, and you were explaining how the developments had handled. You did express that these things are still taking place, and you have moved from a location, so it's not the location; it's the individual.
Yes, it's they're attached to me. It's not a haunted house, so I want people to understand that they're attachments. So it doesn't matter where I am or where I go; they will always follow me. Um, so because a lot of people will ask me about the house, and I'm like, it's not the house, because it follows me wherever I go. So it's in my car, at my work, at the store. It doesn't matter where I go; they follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
it's important to point out too, you encountered the job that this started with, it started at your place of employment. You
yes.
worked a call center for a psychic hotline. So you would get the calls in, disperse them out to whatever psychic or medium they were going to be talking to. And it's
Mhm.
believed that this entity was drawn in through that electronic pathway through that call center, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yes. So it could have been that the psychic was not very good at um, you know, defending herself against the paranormal. And so these things were attached to her or whatever. And so they saw me, and um I I have, some gifts, some psychic gifts that I wasn't aware of having. And I'm this like beacon like, and they were like, ooh, look at her. And that's how I got it. So, I didn't know that I was clear audio, and started hearing the voices. And little did I know it was going to turn into my worst nightmare.
Well, we had talked about right up to the point of where Barry started videoing.
Yeah.
So let's just give a recap. Like you said, um, you had worked at a place. You felt like you got connected through the lines, right up leading up to Barry videoing. Can you give him a brief synopsis to get everybody caught up on?
Yeah. So in 2007 is where I started the job, and things fell apart where with my ex-husband, and I had gotten divorced. These things will ruin your marriage, your family, friends. It destroys your whole life. They're negative. They're non-human. They're not human at all. That's what they do. They infest, do oppression. I've never been possessed, just to let you know. So they do a lot of nasty things. So when I met Barry, he came out to my house in 2020, to film at my house for the haunting, and that's how I met him. And we started dating, and I told him, I said, the only way we're going to catch this, because it's very hard to, there's not a lot of poltergeist activity with my case. And the only way to catch this is, I told him, I said, the only way to catch this is to start filming in the bedroom. It's a very private and intimate space. And my gosh, we started filming, and we caught a lot of evidence in the bedroom. We have a lot of footage that we haven't even looked at or seen, because there is a lot of evidence that we did film, and we just didn't have the time to look at it. But we didn't catch a lot of evidence. So you guys did look at the footage.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just asking, leading up to this, were you already in a form of spiritual thought prior to working for this company?
No.
Okay.
I had worked. I guess I worked in like salons and a couple other places, and I guess I did had encounters with the paranormal before, but nothing on this level. And I guess, I did believe it, but I didn't imagine that anything like this was ever going to happen to me. I did have some stuff happen through the years, but I just kind of, it was just little things. And I thought, well, I'll just, it just kind of happened. And I just kind of, left it, chalked it up and forgot about it, And there was some stuff that happened at my ex-husband's house that my ex-husband was trying to like pass it off and say, oh, it's, he was just trying to pass it off and say, oh no, it's something fell over and the light came on, and I think that he really thinks that it was paranormal, but he was trying to convince me it was something else. And I was starting to hear stuff, and I just was a little bit scared of what I was hearing. And I was like, well, I don't want to hear this. It was kind of interesting what I was hearing. I was hearing whispers of like a female voice whispering. It went on for like 2 weeks. And then I found out that his grandmother passed away, and that kind of frightened me. And then later on, I heard a male voice whispering, and then his friend passed, his uncle passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, I heard another male whispering, but it was in and out. It wasn't the same. And his friend had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And his organs had shut down, but he lived. And I was like, well, that's, I was just like, I don't want to hear this. Why am I hearing this? Hearing people that are like sick or almost dying. That's kind of frightening.
Right.
And
that
then
makes sense that because you have abilities that they're in between the hear and not hear, that you're picking up on that. So that's not abnormal, knowing now that you have untapped abilities, if you will.
Right. So that was probably prior to leading up to as to what was going on. And that's why they said, oh, look, she's, wide open, that's probably why they latched on to me. It wasn't like I was, doing something bad or horrible. they just probably saw me as a wide open beacon and said, look at her, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And they're like, oh wow, she can hear me. You know, that's,
Well,
yeah.
in certain cases, now as we're getting ready to talk about, there was some form of poltergeist activity with you because you actually had physical and do get physical bruises from these entities, correct?
Yes, that is correct. They do from time to time move items. It's rare, but it does happen. They do move the bedding and the sheets and stuff. And they will move something from time to time, but it's not like all the time.
Right.
You know, it's very rare that they do move something, and usually when they move something on the bed, the sheets and stuff, it's like it really boggles my mind because I don't even see it, and sometimes I'm awake sometimes I'm fully awake, and then Barry will catch it on the video downstairs when he's working, and he's like, did you see that? And I'm like, no, I didn't see it. You know, I might have felt it, but I ignore it because I'm trying not to give it attention.
Right.
Because
But
yeah,
you had
you don't want to give these things attention. You're just
right.
feeding them. So I try not to give it attention.
I didn't
But
really want to touch base too much about that of this
yeah,
girl because I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable, and we had already, talked about that.
yeah.
But with you saying that, with that bringing up, that just leads me to one other question in that grouping of subject,
Uh-huh.
Rhonda, if I may. I'm just
Sure.
gonna
I have
put it out
one after
there.
you're done,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
During certain events, you said you saw it on the camera. Did you ever feel the assault?
Oh, yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I do feel the assaults. Yeah, I do feel them.
Mhm.
That's the thing. During the rapes, I felt everything.
Okay.
And even though they're non-human, they did have the ability to feel. I don't want to say the word
You got
online.
we
Yeah,
I
we
think
got you. We got
we're
you.
Yeah,
both. I think
but
everybody in here would figure that one out.
yeah. So yeah, I did feel everything. And it was just really crazy that you would feel something like that, especially when knowing that the female, she doesn't really have a gender. She's not a female or a male, and she's not even human, and she can have a male genital. And it
Okay.
was just like, okay, that's really crazy. But
Yeah.
it's thank goodness that it got to a point where I did bolt up and I said, that's it. I've had it, and I was in this stage where I had I screamed, and I screamed really loud, and the assaults went from full-on rape to a just a vibration now.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't assault me anymore, but they do I do feel the vibrations, and they can still do other stuff to me.
Mm-hmm.
I do, so they do some things that are very they do still do some things that are very disgusting to me. And they can do it, they still do it when I'm working at work, and I can't really stop and say, oh, give me a second while they're, I still have to function as a human being and do my job. So
Right.
I don't say what's going on. I mean, no one's seen what's going on. I'm the only one feeling it and doing it. You have to understand, these things are attached to me. They're not attached to other people. They're not after other people. They're only after me.
Mm-hmm.
So, so as you see in the video, my dog is sound asleep, snoring away under the blanket, and some people who watch it will go, how come your dog doesn't move? Well, it's not after my dog. It's only after me. And you'll see that it moves next to me. It's not moving next to Barry. It's not moving my dog. It's after me.
Oh, it's specific too.
It's
You're right.
specific to me. Not, yeah. So you have to understand they're on a mission to me. It's not, sometimes they will attack other people, but please understand that when they're attached to a person, it's that particular person.
Right.
It's not like a haunted house where it will attack the whole entire family.
Mm-hmm.
It's directly, the attacks are mainly on me.
Okay.
And I can be in my car and they're doing stuff. I can be in the store and they're doing stuff to me day and night. This isn't your typical attachment case where it happens every once in a while. This is very extremely rare. It's happening day and night, every single day, every single night. It's a very, very rare case. It's not, this doesn't normally happen to people like this all the time. So my case is extremely rare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's normal for people to have something like this, to where it's attacking all the time, attack. Let's get her day and night, as often as we can.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rare.
Keith puts here, he says, set boundaries. You should power over your own space. Actually, we talked about that, Keith, and she did exactly that. And there were still boundaries broken. We discussed that last Sunday in part 1. So yeah, we did talk about that, Keith, just so you're aware of that one.
Yeah. It's
Rhonda,
I just want to say, I'm sorry. In 16 years, I have done a lot of research. Barry is still reading all these books. He's reading old books, new books, on research on what can I do, and we're still wondering, are these fallen angels? Are these interdimensional beings? What are these things? We don't really know for sure 100%. And so we're still wondering, what can we do to get rid of these things, or what can we do to defend myself? And still we're looking at all sorts of things to try and do. And I've done everything, typically, we've done the salt, the Himalayans, the pink Himalayan salt, the volcanic black salt, the rock salt, I've done blessed holy salt. I've done sea salt. I've done regular salt. And they stomped a 4-finger handprint twice in the salt. I have a video of it, just to show that I've done that. I've done magnets, and I've even wrapped foil from the salon in the magnets and put that under the bed. I've done the exorcism seals, the 4 corners of the bed, and the candles, and the crystals, and the orgone pyramids. I mean, I've got, tons of stuff. Anointing oil, holy water, and oil. Just tons of stuff. These things, what they do, and I don't think it's normal what most entities do, is I'm just going to use this as an example real quick. So if this is something new that I'm trying, okay, say I buy this new crystal and I said, oh, let's try this tonight, I try not to mention the name of the crystal, right? I don't think about it. So during the night, they will sit there and go, what's the name of the crystal? What's the name of the crystal? Tell me the name. Tell me the name. Tell me the name. For hours and hours and hours, I'm hearing them asking the name of the crystal to get it out of me. And they do this for hours. Then they're going like this. They're touch, 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 touch all night long. They're all, it burns, it burns, it burns, it burns. Okay, it's not burning, burn, 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 to get used to the burning. That's what they do.
Interesting. So they're adapting to whatever you try.
Yes. And then they're trying to get out of me the name of it. So they'll
Right.
like, that's what it is, or what is it, you know?
Mhm.
And so
I'm just going to say this. Think
Yeah.
about this real quick, because this is us sitting around the table talking, drinking coffee,
Yeah.
or if you got a little extra in your coffee. Think about this, because I think I'm going to build one, a proton holy water pack. I think I'm going to build one.
You going full on Ghostbusters.
Hey, man, if I'm going to
Yeah.
build stuff, I think I'm going to just build it. It's ironic because I had somebody actually come up and they said, you want to, what a room filled with holy water and a humidifier is? It's
Yeah.
basically a gas chamber. And I went, but if you put that on your back and there's actual problems,
Yeah.
come on, you guys, that was good.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's good.
I can strap a humidifier to my back. I'm going to town. But no, I was just saying that, but have you
No,
ever
no,
thought
no.
about that?
Yeah. I've thought of
Humidifier with some holy
the
water?
thing is I would have to have, yeah, that's an interesting idea. The thing is I can't keep one item with me the whole time. I have to switch them out so they don't get used to it. And
That's what
then,
Vivian's saying right now. She's saying everyone has tried to help you. And
Yeah.
they won't leave you alone.
yeah. And then, so what I've thought of is so EMFs, okay, they make these wonderful tech tools that attract ghosts, okay? And all these tech teams make these stuff and they all attract ghosts. So these EMFs attract the ghosts, right? And there isn't anything out there to ground out the EMF waves to get rid of the ghost. And the problem is that, it may electrocute the person if you build one. But if you build one on like a small dosage, it may work to ground out the EMF waves that they're riding on, or even to build like a mesh netting that goes around the bed and the wires are on there. And then when they come in the wires, they would get grounded out.
See, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Yes,
you
but
really
no
thought
one
about it.
will
That's
do
a
it.
really good point.
Yeah, but no one will do it.
Protector. Yeah.
But the thing is that these tech teams won't build one. And the reason why, and I think the reason why is because these tech teams like building things to keep the money flow coming in, not from coming out. Because if you get rid of the ghost, there goes their end of their money supply. Because then the ghost is gone, then they won't be selling the products anymore.
This is true.
So they won't build it. And that's my problem. And so I'm like, well, you should. What about all the victims that are being raped and molested by ghosts? They need something to get rid of these negative entities.
Exactly. And Keith, you're right. It's a Faraday chamber. That's exactly.
They don't
care. It would
care.
have to be made out of lead.
But they don't care. They only care about, let's attract ghosts, good or bad. We don't care. We just want the money flow coming in. That's all the market is for, is attracting ghosts, good or bad.
Hey, Robert.
And that's all they care about. So I'd like to build something. I'm not electronic guru, but I'd like to build something to ground out EMF waves on a low voltage to surround the bed with. Maybe, like a netting, a small netting or something.
We can talk. We can talk about that. I just happen to be one of those gurus. We'll talk later about that. But I might be able to help you with that one. But I know Rhonda had a question, and I want to make
Yeah.
sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you kind of addressed it. One was just a comment because I did find that fascinating. Was that your dog does not react?
Right.
And what I noticed, and like with my pets, there's constantly a cat staring in a corner because they see something. My dogs react to spirits that are playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me just feel like it's something on a different level because they're not messing with the dog. Or like you said, they're honed in on you. The other
Yeah.
question I had is because I know that you've worked with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
They've all tapped into the fact that you have abilities
Mhm.
that you didn't know about, which has kind of helped make this maybe even bigger.
Yeah.
Are you like even to the point that you might be a trance medium? Has it made you want to explore your abilities and hone them in to try to communicate and understand what these entities are doing more? Or are you just more like, I'm not tapping in any further, they're too much in my space as it is? Or what are your thoughts on that?
I already know what they want from me. So tapping into them is like kind of, it's kind of not worth tapping into them or talking to them anymore.
Okay.
It's like talking to a brick wall.
Gotcha.
They're very childish.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't really get a straight answer out of them at all. So trying to talk to them is like talking to a brick wall because they'll just like lie to you. And it's pointless to even try to even talk to them.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so it's just like beating around the bush with them, and they already know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They want me dead.
Okay, I hate to say this.
Yeah.
I just got to jump on this.
Do it.
Because you just said it. You said you know what they want.
Dead.
Do you feel? Yeah, I know. Do you feel they are getting something from this?
Yeah, they're trying to make me weak and pull all my energy out. And to they trying to weaken me, pull all my strength out, and they want me dead. The only thing is that it's not really working because, one, I don't have an addiction problem,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not addicted to drugs, alcohol, or other things. So, I mean, I'm not running around drinking booze or smoking or doing anything like that. So I'm not going to be one of those people that, I'm going to, kill myself for you guys because it's not going to work.
Christopher here, it's also like inviting them.
Yeah.
So I get his point, and Rob made a good point. Non-malevolent entities tend to play with the animal.
Yeah. So the ones that aren't with ill intent.
Yeah. These are valid points. I want to make sure they were heard.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so and because there's no time frame, keeping me up at night is what they try to do.
Yeah.
Break your spirit.
Keep you up at night, so you get less sleep, is one of the things that they try to do.
Now we have to clarify this too.
Yeah.
We do know that there's two different types of entities.
Yes.
You have the entities we're referring to, and then you have actually had your first, second, and third encounter as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people tuning in to know she's actually had connections with alien energy. Okay. So we know the separation, and she's had it both, unfortunately. She's really been put through tribulations. You like that? I almost said something very rude and went, catch yourself, don't say it.
Both of those, and I still feel like she's got her own spirit team trying to talk to her, but these malevolent things that are messing with her, it makes it so hard to trust anything that's coming to you that's not of your own. You know what I mean? So I can see where it's hard to know the good from the bad, at this point,
Yeah, well,
because they lie.
The thing is that I've seen some things, and I try to. I don't want to say, is it them making up a story and saying, "Oh, look," or is this the real thing that I'm seeing?
Right.
Because I've seen some stuff, and I'm like, is that what I'm really seeing? I have to question myself. And then I told Barry some of the things that I've seen, and he's all, I have no idea. Barry's like, I don't know. And
Now,
because some of the stuff I've seen is really, it's like, it's out there, I'm like, I don't know.
it is very scary. It is
Yeah.
very
And the thing is that I've, like some people have said, oh, I've seen angels, right? And I go, well, what do they look like?
Mhm.
And, they describe them, and I'm like, well, I don't think angels run around with clothing on. They don't really need clothing because they're not human.
Mm.
And then I saw, when I was living in Chatsworth, I saw this thing. I don't want to call it an angel because I don't like putting labels on things unless I know what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I don't like putting labels on things unless I know.
Right.
So, and I've been looking and scouring the net for something that looks like it, and I haven't really found anything. I did find a statue that kind of looks like it, but I was like, well, if that's really what it looked like, a masculine, muscular, naked, like humanoid angel with no clothing, no genitals, with huge wings, naked, really large, standing in my yard, pasty white, I guess that's the form it took. And I'm like, if that's a real angel and that's what it really looked like, yeah, maybe that's what it looked like, because why would it wear clothing? It wouldn't need clothing because it doesn't feel temperature. And then it doesn't have genitals because why would it need genitals? It's not a he or she. It's an it. It's a supernatural being. Their supernatural beings are not even human. They were never human. So it leads me to believe maybe that was what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe that's its true form, and that's what it looked like.
Wow.
And then that's how it showed up in my yard like that. And and then I did see, like, I had the flu for 2 weeks. I had the flu for 4 days, and I put on this angelic music because I was really sick.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we got there.
Yeah, and I was really sick, and these entities were really attacking me. When you're sick, they attack you more.
Michael.
At your weakest.
Mm-hmm.
And they were heating me up and making me even, sicker, and trying to make me throw up even more. And I saw this figure on a horse with wings, and the wings were kind of wounded, and he was carrying a spear with short hair. And I was like, and they were screaming something about St. Michael. And I was like, well, if that was St. Michael, his wings may possibly be wounded because he does battle the fallen angels. So why would he have, full wings,
Well, we can go biblical on that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
We got 10 minutes, but yeah, we definitely could get biblical on this whole, fallen angel
Yeah.
factor, but let's try to stick to our.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about the music real quick, because I'm glad you brought that up, because
Okay.
I wanted to get to that tonight.
Okay.
And I know Rhonda had some other things too, and I want to make sure we all get it in there.
Sure.
When you started playing the music,
Uh-huh.
first, what made you want to try the music? What influenced you to do that? And then what took place as you used this style of music?
Oh, Ave Marie in the video.
Hmm.
Okay. Barry wanted to try it out to see what the reaction would be.
Hmm.
And that's when that brown mist came in the room with the orbs and the sparkly stuff. And we didn't even have a fire on in the fireplace. So we weren't sure. It was this brown, icky mist, and everything flowed with the mist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So everything in the mist had a direction and knew where it was going because it went with the mist. So it knew what it was doing, and when it went with it. So it reacted to the music, because the mist I've seen before outside. We see it out the side all the time, and then it came in the house with the music for some reason.
Mhm.
So, and they don't like the religious music.
So there is reaction.
There is a reaction to the music. They don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I found that interesting because I mean, before, like, I watched the video, and before you ever said anything, I was like, "What is that brown mist? I've never
Yeah.
seen brown before." And then you were like, "That's what I heard you," and I was like, "Okay, okay, I am seeing this now."
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And I've seen it outside all the time, and that was the first time it came in the house, and it was really it's like dirty and icky. It's like gross, I don't know how to describe it. It's
Oh,
it's
I have to
just,
say this.
yeah.
Hello to a listener on Spotify. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hey.
Hello.
All right. Thank you. Hello.
So yeah, they react to religious stuff. They don't like when I pray or or watch things about religion. They don't like it.
Okay. See, they react against religious items and situations. That's intriguing. That's interesting.
But they will say Jesus Christ is coming, and they will say Jesus Christ is watching you, which
Huh.
I find is very strange, because from what I understand is most fallen angels don't say his name, and these things are, which is unusual.
Yeah, very much so, unless it's a Nephilim.
Yeah. So it's
Intriguing.
like, okay, so that makes me wonder, are these things interdimensional more than they are fallen angels? That's what the question is.
I think Rhonda and I had the same question about that.
Yeah.
Is how do you feel about the dimensional factor in this whole situation?
Yeah. We're just not sure, we're like, I don't know, that gray area, that, we're in their gray area again. Like we're not sure, because it's some of the things they do there's no smell. There's no like sulfur smell. There's no foul smell to this haunting at all,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
so you can't really pinpoint it and go demonic, and I'm like, well, it doesn't follow all the parameters of demonic fully,
Right.
and so people are like, and it kind of stumps them,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they only knock 2 times.
Oh, so you don't get the trio.
It only knocked 3 times once,
Okay.
and then it plays Ding Dong Ditch, which is really weird. So it knocks 2 times, not 3.
Okay.
So, which is
Okay.
really weird. I mean, why would it do 2 and not 3?
It was scared of the Trinity.
Yeah, it's just weird. And it will recite the Bible. Like if I'm reading from the Bible, it
Mhm.
will repeat it back.
Okay. It can repeat it back. Well, then it sounds, I don't think that's, no, that's definitely sounds more dimensional than it would be on I.
Because would that indicate intelligence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, well, it's full on intelligence. But there are some words that it won't repeat. And then, there are some words in the Bible that it doesn't repeat. But then again, when you're playing the necrophonics, there's a language that
Mhm.
they go into that's not from this earth.
Oh, yeah.
And it has a slithering like a tongue.
Yeah, I hear it on the Hope app as well. It almost sounds like gibberish, but if you pay attention, there is a format to the language. We actually had it last night. We had a male and female arguing with each other over in Rancher.
Yeah.
And the way the Hope app, it's a gate program.
Uh-huh.
My gate was completely shut and it was overriding the gate.
I've had
and
that
still
happen with the Hope
speaking.
app too. Like
Oh,
you've
yeah.
closed it, and
Yeah.
they're still chibber jabbering at each other.
Yeah.
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 But
I'm like,
They start out in English
mhm.
and then they go into their own language. And
It almost
it's
sounds like a form of Latin.
it's not Latin at all.
It's not Latin, but it
No.
sounds Latin.
No, because Stefan Bugatti was like, this isn't even Latin. And that's why he was like, these are aliens. And then he's like, no, they're interdimensional because they had the slithering of the tongues. You can hear them going with their tongues. And they're like, it's just this weird language. And we hear it all the time. It's like they go into their own little language. And it's like, what is that? It's just the strangest thing. And you can hear it every time you turn on the necrophonics.
Wow. Robert puts up here, he says, that leads to a good question. Does each dimension have its own god and demon? And if so, do they have their own sense and systems of being known? That's a very great question, Rob.
highly possible.
You know?
Yeah.
And it says, that's when we tell them stop arguing or you will call the celestial police. Wouldn't that be easy and nice?
Nothing's easy. Unfortunately, so far, I mean, I haven't run into anybody that can actually close my case and get rid of these things. I've had an archbishop at the house do a 2-hour exorcism, and we saw a flock of black crows leave the skies from away from the house, but it helped, but then they were still there. So it's like, okay, they reacted to it, but they're still kind of around.
We need to talk more.
Yeah.
I think this is going to go past a part 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unfortunately, 16 ongoing years, it's a long drawn out case.
Yeah.
And, I got some new bruises on me the other day.
Did you take pictures?
Yeah, I did. Okay. They're just, the sharp little finger marks on the inside of my thigh again.
Well, I know there's been several people in chat that have offered services, so you could check with that. I know Keith Osberg, which is part of the Rift, he's offering to help where he can, and we want to say thank you to that. Thank you to everybody that's been tuning in. And if you want to continue this conversation, Melody, we can set up for a part 3, part 4, part 5. I'm sure we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Rhonda, how do you feel
I
about
agree. As you get into the levels of it, it's kind of like
it's layers.
You've got
layers.
16 years worth of layers. That's a lot.
Yeah, with the new AI that's come out, because, you know, I can only get so much. I've gotten a lot of video, don't get me wrong, but some of the stuff that I can't, you know, that wasn't able to video and all the stuff I've experienced, I'm able to put in the AI now. And so on my TikTok account and other stuff, I made these videos of the stuff that I was missing, you know, and I go, hey, look at this. You know?
Well, speaking of that, Melody, let's do that. For those people who are interested to follow on Melody and her situation and catching up with her to this point, how can people find you to follow your case and your situation? Where can they find you?
Okay, yeah. I gave you a little post-it of my thing, but I will I'm on Facebook under my name, Melodie Brookman, and then TikTok it's at Mel Skate. It's SKAKE1, number 1.
Okay.
And then Twitter, it's at Brookman Melody for Twitter.
Okay.
So yeah, and I put together these short little videos. So they're posted all over the place. And with the AI stuff, I've been putting together these new little videos of the stuff I wasn't able to, that I hadn't, you know, was able to, that I saw in my visions and stuff. So
I think people need to check that out. I think we want to have you back again and go in a little bit deeper and discuss a little bit more.
Even in the chat, we're getting such good questions and thoughts about things. I mean, it's fascinating.
It really is. And for an hour show for us like this, that we used to do 2 hours, and then, you know, we just found it better doing an hour. But with that, we can extend it into parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as we want to. So if you're willing, let's have you back, and let's talk a little bit more. I'm sure we can, between the three of us, we can definitely dive a little further.
Yes.
If you will.
And let me just say one more thing before you guys go. I'll just be real quick. My dog does react sometimes. Like, it will pinch my dog and he'll just get up and yelp. And sometimes the dogs will see like something and then they will follow it or run outside. And so they do react on time to time, you know.
So it's not like they don't react. They actually react. They just react to everything, which makes sense. The energy is different, or if they're not used to it.
Yeah.
Travelers and those alike, thank you for tuning in. Rhonda, thank you for, as always, keeping me in line. Miss Melody, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Melody.
Thank you. Should I stay backstage?
Oh, I think we're going to go ahead and roll up, but we'll be touching base with you this week. Thank you all once again. Let's continue to help each other. Like I said before, really the new year has changed a lot. There's been a paradigm shift. I'm just letting you know now. I don't know what to tell you. Look, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. All I can tell you is if you're a traveler, get your surfboard, keep it waxed. You're probably going to need them. I can tell you. But be smart. This full moon is releasing. Remember that. Try to be truthful to self, not just to others too. Okay? Make sure to put your hand out, help another traveler. And as always, may virtue be yours.
Good night, everyone, and have a wonderful week.
It's so smart.